Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Warrensville Heights High School, home of the Tigers, as we have a brother versus brother match on hand. Meechie's Tigers and Sonny's Bulldogs. This is still the JV game. 6:03 on the clock, 32-31, Warrensville in the lead. There will be no commentary for this period, but do enjoy our extended coverage of this great battle. Warrensville Heights and Garfield Heights, the winner, will take sole possession of first place in the LEL Conference. Enjoy. Once again, good evening from Warrensville Heights High School. This is extended coverage of the JV contest. 34-33 Warrensville Heights, 4:42 on the clock in regulation. After this, we will have our pregame show leading up until Warrensville Heights takes on Garfield Heights. Winner takes sole possession of first place in the LEL. And what a finish there. We've seen a lot of great finishes in this JV game. Once again, enjoy the youngsters getting some action. These are the stars of tomorrow. Once again, for those watching, this is the JV game, 41-38. Garfield Heights over Warrensville Heights, 1:43 on the clock in regulation. We will have our full coverage of the varsity game coming up right after this one concludes with our pregame show, and then getting into the meat and potatoes of the contest as Sonny Johnson's Garfield Heights looks to continue their dominance over Meechie Johnson and the Tigers. Stay tuned. Good evening once again from Warrensville Heights High School at game time. Yeah, we still have JV, 43-40 in what might be the best JV game in the state this year. Garfield dunking, Warrensville doing the same. This has been pretty entertaining. We have had bonus coverage pretty much for the entire fourth quarter. We will have the varsity game once it gets underway. At this point, anticipate a 7:50, 7:55 tip. If this game goes to overtime, I might as well set up my tent in my bed. We're going to be here until like 2 a.m. But as of right now, we should be getting going in the next half hour. Hang tight and enjoy this great JV clash between Warrensville Heights and Garfield Heights. Ladies and gentlemen, we're tied in the JV game, 43-43. Overtime might be on the cards. A timeout is called by Garfield Heights. If we do have overtime, we will be calling overtime. I did not have that on the bingo card. This is completely insane. 43-all, 14.3 seconds on the clock. This is worth the wait. Everything that has gone into today, getting an Ethernet port to work out of thin air, going on air at 7:15, anticipating the players for Varsity being on the court warming up, to now having a potential JV overtime game. I've only seen that once in my broadcasting career. This is game 60 maybe. We're just going to say it's game 60, somewhere around there. I have never seen a JV game outside of one go to overtime. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. These highlights, you could put this on a varsity floor, and that would probably be better than most games in the state on any given day. Hang tight. We might not be done with the youngsters quite yet. .7 seconds on the clock, 43-all. Garfield Heights has the ball. Can they get a buzzer beater, and can we prepare for the varsity game? Here's the chance. No foul called at the horn. Not there. And yes, we do have JV overtime. We'll be back on in a minute to bring you the JV game, the conclusion of it in overtime. Man, I don't get paid enough for this. A first in SmeeSports history. We have a JV game in overtime, and we will be calling it. He's Gabriel Koza. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. It's impromptu time, Gabe. I don't think this was on your bingo card for tonight, let alone anyone else in attendance.
What a way to kick off 2025 with the JV game. I mean, the beginning of this game was the total polar opposite. We had no scoring, lots of fouls, but ever since then, it's been slam dunks, blocks, clutch three-pointers. This game has been everything, and now we got an overtime clash.
And as you said, this is the JV game. The JV game, not varsity. For those of you wanting that, you have to wait a little bit longer, but I can promise that game will follow this one, assuming we do hit a satisfying conclusion to this contest. This is a rivalry, and even the JV guys know it. We have names for Warrensville, not for Garfield. We will roll with it. First shot of the overtime period, no good. and an immediate steal for Garfield, and a whistle will blow a foul.
It's getting heated here in Warrensville as the Garfield player took offense to the bit of aggressive play by Warrensville.
I mean, how often do you have a JV game go into overtime? The tensions are high. You saw Warrensville hit that heat check, made it 43-all. They feel they deserve this win. And Garfield, they feel just because the way that they have played this entire game, they deserve a victory. And they might have a case, but so does Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, but one thing we can both agree on is that both teams' futures look incredibly bright. I mean, this is a look at the young talent, and so far, they look really good.
I mean, how many conferences, not individual teams, how many conferences would these two teams win at the varsity level?
I feel like a lot. It's crazy to say, but I think they would have at least a 500 or above record.
I hate to say it, going back to Alliance and the EBC, these guys I think would potentially win it. They might have enough to win the EBC, and that's even saying they're better than West Branch. And West Branch barely lost to Warrensville last year. It was a 2-point game. Maybe they'd finish in 1, Alliance 2, maybe Marlington 3, but otherwise, I feel these guys could take down Salem. They have the height. Minerva, who's had a decent year, I feel like they can take them down. And as well, I forget who else is in the EBC. It's just escaping my mind right now. First basket of the overtime period. No one has put it on the board yet, and now they do. It's 45-43. It's Carrollton. That's the other team. Carrollton's been good, but I feel like they definitely could. And we have a timeout called, a full timeout in this JV game. It feels like Holy Name's old JV coach, Tony Lanza's out here coaching with the timeouts that we've seen. Yeah, there's been a lot of timeouts, but look at this atmosphere. A packed house. We got the band waving the towels, and it's just a JV game. Stay with us for the varsity game. It's going to be even better. As of right now, 313 live watching. The most concurrent viewers we have had in a game on the SmeeSports YouTube channel was our, not last one because we added Strongsville and Chaminade. But you go back the day before, Garfield Richmond had 404 concurrent at one point. My record is 495. Garfield fans, I'm sorry. Blue West Garfield at the Rock on Keon Sports last year. 495 at its peak, and that was a great finish. Lutheran West getting the victory and ending the undefeated hopes of Garfield Heights in Rocky River. That was a tremendous game, but going back to the main storyline of this varsity clash, Sonny Johnson, a legend of Garfield Heights. He has been coaching there for a very long time. And then the newcomer, Meechie Johnson, who really made this program something special. Going back to the year before, he was the head coach, 4-19, I believe. The year before, 1-22. So 5 wins in 2 years. Meechie comes in, I believe, wins 16 games and loses after taking down West Branch in the playoffs. Absolutely insane from him as a coach. And these boys, they will play for Meechie, and they will also play for Sonny. Do we have a dunk here? No, we don't. Great defense by Warrensville Heights, and that will prevent any damage. That is Quaylen Howard, the freshman. He is on the varsity roster, and I believe he comes in at 6'9". Yeah, tall player there, and a great block because that Garfield Heights player, he's gotten in there and slammed the ball at least 2 or 3 times in this game, so great block there. Once again, we do not have the JV roster for Garfield Heights on hand, so if you hear us kind of describing the players without describing them, we do apologize. Once again, we did not anticipate this. You never go into a broadcast anticipating the JV game will go into overtime, but this is also a case of so many live viewers at home. You have to give them a show. Regardless of if they know when this game is starting, if they know it's delayed, or if they don't know, you have to give them a show, and these players are doing a tremendous job of it. I mean, you could see on the camera pretty well how many people are in attendance. This game sold out, I believe, around 3 p.m. today. That's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible, but I mean, you could see why. You got 2 brothers that have built amazing programs in Cleveland, and they're both great teams, and even the JV teams have a lot of talent on it. I mean, this is much-watched TV here in NEO. From the coaches of both teams all the way up to the athletic directors in Cruz and Swift for Garfield and Warrensville, respectively, moving this game to today was a genius decision. You're competing with, I believe, 4 other games at most, and the closest team you're competing with would be either Medina Christian, who's on the road at East Palestine, or you're competing with Kirtland, both of which are playing about an hour from here at least. And here comes a fast break foul called, and Garfield will go to the line down by 2.
Yeah, it's a good foul by Warrensville Heights. I mean, really not much you could do there. If he doesn't make an effort there, that ball is getting slammed right there.
And here are the games for today. Bristol is at Champion. Lakeside is at Kirtland. Medina Christian is at East Palestine. And then this one.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. And we're getting a preview of the varsity game with this one, man. Because we can clearly tell if these guys are on JV, the guys on varsity are even better. So it's going to be a show tonight.
And that just speaks to really how these coaches are able to mold these young minds from freshmen all the way up to varsity. Garfield and Warrensville, they have some of the best coaches in really the state. I would say the conference, but the conference, if you coach in the LEL for basketball, you have to be the best of the best. And the guys that are in there right now, they surely are. A chance for Warrensville to retake the lead or at least get something on the board. The step back three, no good. Rebound. And now we do have a travel call. There he is.
Yeah, good call. Just took too many steps there trying to get the rebound. That's a good effort, but can't take too many steps.
And that was Howard, the freshman. I would not mind it at all. Howard playing some tight defense. A trap played. The three from number 4. Off front rim, no good. And Billingsley will go up the floor. He was the hero at Youth Elite, hitting a big three. Can't get that one to go. This three rolls out, no good. Howard gets the rebound, flings it inside. Flung back out to the edge of the paint, and it's in. Another big basket puts Warrensville Heights on top by 2.
For Garfield, you gotta box out the tallest player. You just got to.
And we'll talk about that a lot in the varsity game with Nasir Hines versus Wayne Chappelle. That will be an intriguing center battle. And a travel is called. This game might be a Tiger triumph the way it's going. That is a huge call and a huge demoralizer against Garfield. Once again, this is the JV contest. 47-45, 57 seconds left to go in the first overtime period. Man, oh man, we have a treat.
I mean, this is electric, man. You wouldn't even know this is a junior varsity game, to be honest. With the crowd, the atmosphere, the overall game quality, it's just been a treat.
This is how you build up your future. You give your guys some of the craziest experiences. And oh my gosh, we have 476 live viewers. That matches our record for most concurrent. We are 20 away from my personal record. What is going on? This is entertaining. Thank you to everyone watching at home. Let's make January 2nd, 2025 a special night. And these people need it. We all need this. A break from reality, just some great basketball. 32 minutes of the best basketball in the state. Now foul is called. That will stop the clock. 33.2 seconds left to go.
And it looked like he maybe wanted to pull up there, but he pulls it back. Ultimately holds the ball and draws the foul. Nice play not forcing a bad shot at this point in the game.
And I agree with you. I'm sure in the varsity game, we are going to talk a lot about shot selection.
Yeah.
Shot selection is everything in a game like this. I mean, you really have to be on your A game if you want to win not only this JV game, but the varsity game. So many good players. We'll talk a lot about Noah Chambers in the varsity game. He ended up being the MVP of the game against Lutheran East. I know we gave co-MVP honors to Wayne Chappelle for how he played, but I'm interested to see, first off, if he can compete against Marcus Johnson's output. And 2, how does Wayne Chappelle take on Nasir Hines, who really turned it on against Richmond? 2 points against Cleveland Heights, and I believe had about a dozen against Richmond Heights. He really stepped up that game. I know when Kurt was talking about him, he had some worries on if his game would translate against a Dorian Jones. And then when Dorian was out against the likes of Winters or De'Eric Barber, and it really did translate. But Wayne Chappelle, he might be the toughest task of the year, given the fact that there was no Dorian Jones, who I believe is now back in the lineup. So glad that he is okay.
Yeah, and the Tigers are actually going to go to the line here. They're going to get him to the free throw line, which is going to be a massive free throw here. I mean, he makes 2 of these free throws here. Could potentially, maybe, possibly seal the game.
And I feel like even if they don't win the game, Warrensville Heights wins best shoes. I mean, you see a couple Grinches, you see the greens and the reds. Christmas isn't over, and these guys know it. This is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And as well, I like those purple shoes on the far side as well. Those are some pretty nice shoes. We see a lot of great shoes in NEO, I will say that.
Yeah, a lot of great shoes here. Warrensville with their Adidas sponsorships, they have their track suits, the shoes. I mean, they're embodying the motto of look good, play good.
Now a 4-point game, 30 seconds left to go in the JV overtime period. And a timeout is called. Garfield Heights will talk things over. Yet another full timeout. Gabe, we might as well continue previewing the next game. Who is your standout player for both sides? Outside of the star players, we will say you can't say Noah Chambers for Warrensville, and you can't say MJ for Garfield.
Well, I think I'm going to go with the matchup of Nasir Hines versus Wayne Chappelle. I think that's one we're going to have to look at. Like we said, against Lutheran East, Wayne Chappelle almost erased TJ Crumble in that game. And TJ Crumble's a 4-star. He's got offers from a lot of big programs. He's a very good player. So to do that speaks volumes to how good of a defender you are and how confident you are, and meaning that it doesn't matter who I'm guarding, I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to give it my best. So we're going to see. It's going to be tough for both players, but I think whoever wins that matchup has a really good opportunity of pulling their team to victory tonight.
I do agree with you. I do really like that matchup, but I am interested to see how the other guards can play. CJ Williams versus Devon Jackson, 1 versus 1. Devon can get hot at a moment's notice. Everyone notices that smile on the floor. When Devon smiles, look out. He has big things planned. And as for CJ, he was another big factor in that Lutheran East win. Keep in mind, you can't have a one-man 15-point swing against a team like Lutheran East. You definitely could, reality-wise, because, well, mathematically you can, but looking at the teams, it would take a lot, and I mean a lot, for that to happen. I feel like you could even put an Ohio State player out there, let's say Colin White in a couple of years, after he's had some time to develop, he would not go on a 15-0 run against that Louis team by himself. He's a good player, but Louis as a unit is just that good. That 3, offline, airballed, and taken in inside the paint, as Jolly will enjoy this Jolly victory. Foul called, and they will go to the line a little bit too soon on the ending. Garfield Heights wants to see if they can manage to pull off one of the biggest upsets ever at the JV level. That will help them, and that will help both of these teams compete in the LEL for years to come. And you have first-year coach Jermaine Gay down a little ways from us. He is ready to win the LEL. You have 3 teams that could realistically win this conference. How often can you really say that in a conference as good as this one? And I believe you also have Maple Heights. They have struggled a lot this year, but they're still in there. They can make something happen. Just this LEL conference is insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of great teams in this LEL conference, a lot of great young players as we're seeing tonight. And I'm excited to see what this conference is not only going to look like this season, but for the next 5-10 years. A lot of good, young, talented hoopers in this conference.
In basketball, we talk a lot about conferences. You have the Greater Akron Conference with all those teams, Buckdale, North, East. You have Senate, who will actually have a representative here in a couple of weeks on MLK Day as Glenville takes on Warrensville Heights in what will be a great matchup. A lot of great conferences, but this one might take the cake. You never know. As time expires, we get a shot, and it rims out no good and goes into the media. Warrensville Heights in overtime in the JV contest takes down Garfield Heights 51-45. Now, Gabe, it is time. We are going to see 2 of the best teams in NEO. No. In the state. No, not even there. In the country on this floor. Meechie Johnson's Warrensville Heights Tigers taking on Sonny Johnson's Garfield Heights Bulldogs. It is up next on SmeeSports. Thank you for tuning in to our bonus coverage of the JV game. And now it is time for Varsity, as I have tied my official record for most concurrent viewers at one moment with 495. So thank you to everyone watching at home. Here's to an even better Varsity game, if that's even possible right now. But knowing these 2 coaches and talking to them, Gabe, I think we are going to have a treat. Let's see these teams run out. Let's enjoy this atmosphere. We will catch up with you all in a few moments for the SmeeSports pregame show. Gyro, Gyro, or Gyro, no matter which way you say it, the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. Check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you. Here it is, one of the best ways to start off a calendar year. Two storied figures in OHSAA basketball. Sonny Johnson, the head coach of Garfield Heights, and Meechie Johnson, his brother, the head coach at Warrensville Heights. This is brother versus brother on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back-to-back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable. Once again, good evening from Warrensville Heights High School, home of the Tigers, as the 6-1 Warrensville Heights Tigers take on the undefeated 6-0 Garfield Heights Bulldogs. He's Gabriel Koza. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Gabe, the anticipation has been building. We have been here for about 3 hours now, and every minute that we have grown closer to tip-off, this building has gotten even more electric.
I mean, it feels like 70% of the time I can't even hear myself talk. I mean, it is electric here. The JV game was awesome. I mean, we had no expectations of that, but it blew us out of the water going into overtime. And then this varsity game, brothers versus brothers coaching, kind of like the Harbaugh brothers coaching. And they're very similar. They both coach very good teams. We're going to see tonight how they play against each other, what they decide to do. And we're also going to see players like Marcus Johnson, players like Noah Chambers, players like Wayne Chappelle, players like Nasir Hines. It's going to be an amazing game. Don't leave us, because this is going to be one of the best games of 2025.
I agree. We start off with a bang. We ended last year with two great games, really three if you go back a day. You had CCC Glenville, CCC unable to get the victory in that one. Richmond Heights falling to Garfield Heights, and then one final game that we were requested to be at, Chaminade Julian from Dayton. No match for Strongsville. The Mustangs undefeated. I mean, going into tomorrow, they can make it 9-0. They play Amherst Steel, and I feel like they can win that game. That aside, we then start off 2025 with one of the best games, as we have said many times, of this year. I mean, I don't even know how this wouldn't live up to the hype. Even if this is a blowout, this is prime basketball, and this is what we want to see from NEO, especially as coverage continues to grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to be able to be in a venue like this, to see two really, really good coach teams, and to see a player like MJ, Marcus Johnson, who's got offers from every big-name college basketball school in the country. So I'm excited for tonight. And Warrensville Heights as well. They got a lot of good players, and they go, of course, approached by head coach Meechie Johnson, who a season before he came in, like you said, we're 4-19. It's completely turned around this program, and he has a chance tonight to solidify his seasons as head coach and truly make his Warrensville Heights Tigers a force in not only NEO, but the state of Ohio.
And I agree, this is the day to make a statement. Only one loss combined, and that loss is against a very good team. Gabe, we both went to private schools for high school. We know this beast very well. Iggy.
Yeah,
St. Ignatius.
You got a great team. When you got a Dayton come in on the team, and then you got another prospect that the college look at, I mean, Ignatius is a really, really good squad. But they didn't get blown out. They didn't lose by that much at all. And that was the beginning of the season. Chemistry grows as the season goes on. You get to know the players. You get to know how each other play. Coaches learn more and more and more as the season goes on. So I don't really hold that loss against them, to be honest. they have still a great chance to beat the Garfield Heights Bulldogs tonight.
And I agree. I feel like this is Warrensville Heights' game to lose. This is a home game for them. Last year, let us make a comparison. The last year pre-Meechie Johnson, 67-35, 74-26. Meechie Johnson comes in, 63-59 loss, 74-45. But the close one was here, a 4-point game just before Christmas. I feel like we are going to see a repeat of that game, but maybe not the same winner.
Yeah, when you play two teams in a year, you know, things can go a lot differently. A lot of times it's not the same fixed result because trying to beat a team twice is hard. So it's going to be tough for Garfield to get this win again, but it's also going to be hard for Warrensville Heights because Garfield knows them really well. They know their tendencies, they know what they like to do, and of course, the brothers are coaches, so they know how they like to coach and stuff like that. So it's just going to be a really exciting, unpredictable game tonight.
And going back to beating a team twice in 1 year, we saw that yesterday. Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks could not take down Ohio State. Once you see a team once, you really learn a lot about them. But what will be learned tonight? That is a big question. These teams know each other about as well as you can know a team. Is there anything they can learn?
I mean, of course there's new plays you can add, but I think what's really going to set them apart is some of the stuff in basketball that you need to do to win. Rebounding, being aggressive, hustling for loose balls, and being smart, not turning the ball over. You do some of those things, it doesn't matter how many times you play your opponent, you're going to be hard to beat. So those are some things that Warrensville and Garfield are going to have to do if they want to win this game tonight with the familiarity.
And I agree. I mean, you can be only so familiar with a team. These coaches are very evenly matched. Do you think that Meechie has the edge, though? It's his house, and he almost beat him last year. It's a tough one, I know. I mean, we don't know if he really does have the edge.
Yeah, we really don't know, but like I said, I mean, these coaches mean so much to NEO. Obviously, both of them play college basketball. Meechie going to KSU, Sonny going to Ohio, winning Mr. Basketball in Ohio. I believe it was 1998. And then, of course, they have another brother named Julius Juby Johnson who went to Miami. Basketball is in this family. It's in their genes. It's in their blood. And it's just going to be so exciting tonight. We're going to see a reflection of that with how hard their players play and how well they're coached.
And I've heard a rumor that there is another Johnson in the pipeline. What does that mean for NEO as a whole?
I mean, this game is great for NEO. Two of the best teams. To see this, to see these teams playing against each other is great. And to see some of this young talent, it can only mean good things for NEO. And like we said, we watching the JV game. It's clear that at NEO, the future is bright for these young Hoosiers.
And you're right, that JV game was about as good as it gets. We'll toss it downstairs to get us underway. Brother versus brother, Garfield Heights versus Warrensville Heights.
High School and your Warrensville Heights High Tigers. The Stars and Stripes. To honor America, please stand and join with the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, by our Warrensville Heights Tiger Band. Thank you. In order to make tonight's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner. That means follow the rules, speak and act responsibly, and show courtesy and respect for your fellow fans, the officials and coaches, the administrators and authority figures, and of course your team and opponents. Let's make tonight's contest great by remembering to respect the game. Thank you. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. The officials tonight are Larry Hostetler, Marion Odin, and Micah Long. And now, let's meet the teams. First, the visitors from Garfield. Number 0, senior, Braylon Sullivan. Number 1, senior, Devon Jackson. Number 2, senior, Ari Jones. Number 11, junior, Marcus Johnson. Number 21, Nasir Hines. Bulldogs are coached by Coach Sonny Johnson. And now, fans, get to your feet and let's welcome your Warrensville Heights Tigers! Number 1, 6'1" junior guard, CJ Williams. Number 2, 6'1" senior guard, Zion Cheney. Number 3, 6'2", senior forward, Tavian Anderson. Number 10, 6'5", senior forward, Wade Chappelle. And number 13, 5'9", senior guard, Noah Chambers. Your Warrensville Heights Tigers are coached by Coach Meechie Johnson.
What an introduction! The home court advantage is real. I mean, you just heard the band. That national anthem may have been the best anthem any sport that I have ever heard. That band is amazing. Shout out to them firstly. Then you go into introductions. They have the band playing when the names are called. What an environment. That's really all you can say.
I mean, it's electric. Some Garfield fans made it out, as you can see from the starting 5 introductions, but not many. Warrensville Heights has this advantage here, being on their home floor.
They sold this game out earlier this afternoon. The overflow watching from home or any other kind of median, I mean Stream East, I don't think it's a thing anymore, so they can't be watching this on Stream East. Free stream, it makes it where more people can watch such a great game. Going up for the tip will be Wayne Chappelle and Nasir Hines. This will be the first time we do see those two go up against each other once again. Those are your starting 5. Here it is. It is game time. Hines getting antsy. Can't win the opening tip. Well, really no one does. It's tossed out of play. No time off the clock. And we already have the ball going out of play. What a start.
Yeah, what a start. Similar thing happened in JV, except Warrensville tipped it out of bounds.
And this time, Chambers gets it. So there we go. Warrensville wins the opening tip. And we are underway in Warrensville Heights. The Tigers wearing their white jerseys and Garfield Heights wearing their very iconic dark blue and yellow lettering. It will be Cheney to swing the corner. Chappelle for 3. Bounces high, no good. Devon Jackson comes down with the rebound. And that is really the first in-play battle between Hines and Chappelle. You'll see how that matchup progresses. Braylon Sullivan, he's had a couple of good games so far this year, including 15 points in the win against Cleveland Heights. Last game, it was really Ari Jones who stepped up as the third option for Garfield Heights. Johnson flaying, Jones will take it, still a loose ball, and Garfield Heights somehow comes down with it. And here comes their offense trying to get rolling once again. About 1 minute in, no scoring, but some great defense.
Yeah, Warrensville not letting MJ get the ball. They're not letting it be easy.
And here goes Marcus Johnson, will fall. A blocking foul is the call. And Coach Meechie Johnson not too happy. 6:58 on the clock, and we have our first foul of the ball game.
Yeah, it looks like MJ kind of just fell there, but I guess they kind of had a shove there, and that's why the ref called the foul.
I feel like this game is going to be officiated as tight as humanly possible.
Yeah.
You have two teams who are rivals. This is a conference clash, mind you. The winner of this will take sole possession of first place in the LEL. Johnson can't get that shot up. His second try, also no good. And Warrensville Heights will come down with the rebound. C.J. Williams ends the sequence. And for the second time tonight, here comes the offense of Warrensville Heights. Cheney, step back over Ari Jones. Misses wide right. Chappelle can't get it to go as Hines will clean it up. Another great defensive play. Devon Jackson now, one of his first touches of the ball game. Expect him to shoot a lot of threes in this contest. Braylon Sullivan makes his move in the key, looking for an outlet, and he will end up taking it himself before going outside and giving it to Devon Jackson. Almost 2 minutes off the clock. Jackson step back slide, airballed out of play. And with 6:10 on the clock, still no scoring.
Right now, Warrensville is playing great defense. They're not allowing Garfield to get any shots or have any room to dribble the ball at all.
And that is a good thing. You want lockdown playoff defense, maybe a first to 50 game, just like the Lutheran West Garfield Heights game at the Rock last year. Chappelle bodying inside, and a foul is called against Nasir Hines. So both sides now have a foul to their name and no points.
We're seeing that matchup early here. Chappelle's gotten the ball a couple times. So far, Hines is holding its own. No one's really taken advantage so far of each other's matchup.
And I feel like Hines turned a corner in the last game against Richmond Heights, really established himself. That three rolls out, no good. Williams can't connect, and Ari Jones will pick up the rebound. Over 2 minutes in, still no scoring. Johnson, stutter step, will dish to Sullivan. And now here comes Garfield Heights making their way in the lane. The swing, Jones just outside the paint. No one home, loose ball. Anderson picks it up and is fouled, and he will tumble into the media.
This defense is locked down. We're matching the energy of this building, and they've been playing great so far. And if they keep this up, this could be a nice, extremely big win for this Warrensville Heights program.
And now the officials are telling the media to move. Kind of reminiscent when we were told to respect the line.
Yeah.
That was back at Lutheran West in the Summer League. I believe that was the Holy Name Lutheran West B game.
Yes, the good old days.
And I had that kind of scenario at Northwest. It was pretty nice, though, that setup. I really did like the setup at Northwest, and hopefully we will be able to get some more Northwest games. We do have points on the board. Tavian Anderson able to make that free throw. Now that we've seen the first basket of the game, I feel like we are going to see a lot quickly. I wouldn't be surprised to see both sides make a few field goals in the next 90 seconds, really ramp up this game, and really give us the clash that we expected.
Kind of saw what we saw in the JV game. I mean, that game was scoreless for a long time, and then finally we saw some scoring.
And it took an overtime period for one team to hit the 50s. So we could be in for a tight matchup. That 63-59 scoreline from last year in this building, I feel like, is the most likely outcome. The action still paused for the time being. Coach Johnson smiling on the near side. Sonny, he always smiles. That's just who he is. You see Coach Meechie Johnson on the opposite end of the court. He's serious, but he can also give a smile when he wants to. The pair is split 1-0. Tavian Anderson, the difference so far. Jackson, step back, slide three. Can't get it to go. Bounces left iron, and it goes out of play against the white jersey. It will stay with Garfield Heights.
Yeah, that was, I mean, if MJ would have made that, that would have been unreal there. I mean, that was still a great attempt there. Leaning back, getting fouled.
We have already seen a lot of players go to the floor in this one. Johnson takes it off the inbound pass from Sullivan. Cuts left, step back. That one's on point from Marcus Johnson. A thing of beauty from MJ, and now he is on the board.
Great job there by MJ. Create that separation. Anderson's played some great defense, but just a little too tight a defense. And if you do that, the perfect counter is that step back right there.
Going back to earlier today when I ended up chopping up the all-ball clips for Marcus Johnson, I saw that shot a lot, whether it be outside the arc, a mid-range, a 15-footer. He can always make that slide step. And it looks like they do wave the basket off. Unfortunate for Garfield Heights there. Now they're putting it back on the board. It's 1-1 now. And they give the point to Devon Jackson. And now it's 3-1.
Meechie Johnson visibly upset. I don't think he knows what's going on.
I think it's going to be 2-1. But wow, an early groan from the crowd. There we go, now we're back to 2-1. Happy New Year, everyone. We're counting down once again. New Year's Eve a couple days ago, but we're back. Chambers will take it up the floor. Haven't called his name all too much, but still plenty of time for that to change. No one home on the outside. They tried getting the far post, and Anderson, he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, we know how good MJ is on offense, but that was a display of his defensive ability there, right there. Pretty much only allowing that ball to fit in where it was going to go out of bounds. Great defense. And
once again, the media asked to scoot back. I expect to see that a lot in this game. A lot of media down there. I believe Fox 8 and a bunch of other videographers and photographers. That's the beauty of this game. So much media and so many people in attendance. Johnson almost gets it stolen. Sullivan takes it, swings far side. Jones the pump, the mid-range. Can't get it to go. Loose ball in Garfield's paint. Devon Jackson will take it back outside. And now here come the Bulldogs offense once again looking to reload. Devon Jackson going right, going up against Williams. Misses front iron, and Wayne Chappelle, the big man, comes down with the rebound. 4:20 on the clock in the first. 2-1 Garfield Heights the score. Chambers in the lane. Gets it to go over Nasir Hines. A big boy basket for number 13. He is on the board. It is now 3-2 Warrensville Heights. And now can Marcus Johnson get a quick reply on the board like he does so well. And he is fouled in the process. Coach Meechie Johnson can't believe it. And I believe he does have a cause. That looked clean.
Yeah, that looked like a loose ball right there. I don't agree with that call at all. But how about Noah Chambers on the other end, doing what a lot of we saw against Lutheran East, getting to the basket, getting those points. He's going to have to do a lot more of that if Warrensville wants to stay in this game.
And driving against the height of Nasir Hines, that is not an easy thing at all.
No.
Johnson makes the first of two, tied up at 3, halfway through the first quarter, and we will see the super freshman Cornelius Williams set to check in. Johnson makes both. Garfield retakes the lead, and we will have our change. Braylon Sullivan subs out, and here comes the sixth man, Cornelius Williams. If you have not seen him play basketball, you would assume he is a junior or senior. The way he plays this game, he is so selfless with the basketball, and he can make something happen just as good as MJ, just as good as Devon, just as good as Ari, and continue going down the list. He can be an impact player as a facilitator and as a scorer. That shot no good. Marcus Johnson coming down with a rebound, immediately goes to the deck, and a jump ball is the call. We saw that a lot in the JV game, and this possession arrow isn't on, so
it's going to go to Garfield. So.
I was about to say, they give the ball to Garfield. No possession arrow. That will be tough to see. You just have to go based on the board, which is an adjustment. A lot of gyms have it, but you see it on the board now where possession goes. Either way, Garfield will take possession back. A great defensive sequence, forcing that really. It really wasn't a defensive sequence. It was just a loose ball that Johnson couldn't keep after the rebound.
And multiple players slipping on the floor early on.
And Coach Johnson not happy. Braylon Sullivan about to sub in. And Marcus can't get it to go in traffic. A loose ball in the paint. Chappelle comes down with it. What another great play by Wayne Chappelle. Chambers will get it on the pass from C.J. Williams. Right now, it is Wayne Chappelle. For the first time today, we will see the Lutheran West transfer. Nick Parker sub in for Warrensville Heights, and they will bring out Wayne Chappelle along with Tavian Anderson. Jalen Gum, the replacement for one of them. Chappelle, I assume, is the player he is replacing. And after the substitution, Coach Johnson looks to make some adjustments once again as we see another player rushing to the line. That is Rayshawn Myers. Williams will swing top of the arc. Hale loses the ball. It's loose on the deck, and Garfield Heights comes up with it. Sullivan gets rid of it to avoid the jump ball. What a scrappy play by Braylon and the Bulldogs. 2:40 on the clock in the first quarter. 4-3 Garfield Heights, your score. Ari Jones outside the arc will pivot, finding Devon Jackson. He will work on the screen. Far side, Braylon Sullivan. Sullivan cutting left in the lane, has to find someone, finds Ari, and Ari can't get it to go. How unlucky.
Yeah, when you're in the zone like that, you got to get it to the corner, wing there, and get that three-pointer. Should have gone in there, just unlucky for Garfield.
Gum able to get it to go. Hines once again bested. Jalen Gum, we heard about him a little bit from the coaching staff before the Lutheran East game. They told us that he could be an impact player off his bench, relieving Wayne Chappelle and giving him a breather, and that is what he has done so far today. Hines, loose ball, Gum tips it. What a play by him in the paint, and that gives another possession to Warrensville Heights. Chambers in the lane, too easy off the window.
Noah Chambers is unstoppable when he gets under the rim. It's his second basket already.
7-3, a three-point game. Johnson potentially taking a three, instead goes inside.
And he traveled there. I'm surprised they didn't call that.
I agree. Sullivan in the paint, needing an outlet, has Gum directing traffic.
Travel.
And they will
double dribble.
They'll call
they
this
finally call it. I mean, the MJ one was very blatant.
Jalen Gum is working overtime. This kid is making a statement. You saw that tip to facilitate those 2 points. You cannot teach that intangible. He has height, you can't teach that either, but I feel like his IQ is what you have him on the floor for. And as well, obviously, taking out and giving a breather to Wayne Chappelle.
Yeah.
Chambers against Cornelius Williams. There is his speed on display, and just his jackrabbit ability won't give him the Aiden Butler nickname quite yet. Great move in the lane. The basket can't follow, and a foul is called. Camden Hill driving, and he will go to the line for two.
Not only Wayne Chappelle, but Yasir Hines is also out of the game, and Garfield's going to have Ari Jones guarding Warrensville's tallest player, so we'll see how Ari fares against that.
And Ari Jones, an interesting career path to date, started off with VASJ, then transferred to Euclid, and now found his way to Sonny Johnson and the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. We are seeing a lot more transfers in this game. I mean, Max Bowen of Buchtel, he was at Cuyahoga Heights his freshman year, sophomore, junior at Holy Name, and his senior year at Buchtel. 3 schools. You're seeing it a lot more often. That one no good, so Hill will split the pair. Warrensville now 2 for 4 from the line, and they will get the ball right back. This start is about as perfect as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough basketball, tough defense, guys diving on the floor for loose balls. That's what you love to see.
And a difference in coaching style. Coach Sonny Johnson on the bench sitting. Coach Meechie Johnson on the floor. But both brothers, excellent coaches. Parker spinning inside, bounce pass, Gum will go to the low post, can't find his target in Anderson, and it looks like they will call a foul, or the ball will at least go out of play. No, they won't. It will go to Garfield. Warrensville has struggled in that pass. I don't really want to call it the low post because it's not. It's a little bit further away from that low post. They can't get that outlet pass.
Yeah, they can't seem to get that, but it's also a testament to what Garfield's doing, their defense, exposing their weaknesses. Just great coaching by Sonny Johnson.
Less than a minute to go in the opening frame. 8-4 Warrensville Heights over Garfield Heights, your score. Cornelius Williams driving, will dish it off. Myers gets it to go. A beautiful finish by Rayshon. He is on the board. Garfield, they have struggled early in games this season so far. Right now, a 2-point game, about where we expected this one to be.
Yeah.
Parker will swing. Hill with 1 point. And now the coaching staff of Garfield Heights getting off out of their seats. Loose ball, Johnson falls on it. Loose ball once again, still loose at the logo. And it will go to Warrensville Heights. Gum stepping over players. It's blocked. Johnson takes it back, and it's out of play. It goes to Warrensville.
What a sequence. I mean, it feels like we're watching a football game where there's a fumble and both teams can't get on it. This is a testament to how physical this game is and how much this game means to both of these teams.
It's like going to a water park and going in that wave pool. Everyone is flying, trying to hold on for dear life. after that long sequence that took years off a lot of players' lives. 3.7 on the clock. This will most likely be the final possession and shot of the opening frame. Chambers somehow gets down the floor and banks it in! What a play by Noah Chambers!
Noah Chambers has been this Warrensville offense. You have the shot to end the half there. You have the 2 layups. We're going to look to see him continue this in the coming quarters.
It's not on the board yet. We will see if they do count it. Either way, to get down the floor that quick and shoot that shot. Going back to Denzel Valentine, that is not a shot you practice, and even Patrick Ewing. It looks like they will give it to Chambers on the board.
Yeah, sometimes with great players, sometimes that just goes in. With great shooters, it's just a testament to how hard that young fellow works and how good of a hooper he really is.
And they call it a 2. So end of 1 at Warrensville Heights High School. 10-6 your score in favor of Warrensville Heights. This is Warrensville Heights versus Garfield Heights boys basketball on SmeeSports. Here at Ledgewood Barbershop, it's the little things that count. From the moment you walk in, we want you to feel at home in a great community. Our barbers know how to serve our customers and make them love their fresh cut. Visit us today at 17100 Royalton Road in Strongsville, just across the street from the mall. Or call us at 440-238-5105. We know that once you stop in, you'll keep coming back. Ledgewood Barbershop, your next haircut awaits. One quarter in the books at Warrensville Heights High School. It is the Tigers up 10-6 over Garfield Heights. If you are just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee. Gabriel Koza is alongside me, aka Vanilla Sports. Gabe, this has been an exciting start. We saw the offense really come alive in the second half of that first quarter. What do you expect to see from the get-go in this frame?
I think we're going to see more of a high-scoring quarter. As you can see, both teams with Wayne Chappelle and Nasir Hines back in the game. Both teams looking to gain an edge by putting in their best players.
And speaking of best players, Johnson on that great defense. Loose ball, and Devon Jackson will pick it up. Great trap and great execution by Garfield Heights. Here comes Marcus, step back 3 on the slide. It's in! MJ has arrived in Warrensville.
We knew that was coming. One of the best three-point shooters in Ohio finally gets one down the net.
To say that you have arrived after scoring your 7th point of the game, that takes a different talent. In the lane, the no-look handoff goes wayward. Jones swings, Johnson, can he do it again? Oh, of course he can! Marcus Johnson from downtown! The first time was so nice, MJ had to do it twice. Chappelle inside, will hook it in. 12 all. The offense has arrived. Johnson in the lane makes it. 8 quick points from Marcus Johnson.
And I don't know how that wasn't a travel. I mean, Meechie Johnson is extremely upset, and good reason.
At Christmas, I don't think Marcus will get as many gifts this year. That basket no good from Chappelle. Once again, Meechie is his uncle, so he's going to go talk to his nephew after this game and say, that's one Christmas present off the list next year. Marcus will work to his left, and a foul is called.
I mean, we predicted it. We said it was going to be a high-scoring quarter, and it has been. Marcus Johnson has arrived, and Wayne Chappelle with a nice finish on the other end.
I have to laugh. You just saw Meechie Johnson get upset. Sonny turns to the crowd and smiles. This is what this rivalry is about. And he's right back to coaching. And as well, this vantage point, it might be a small platform here at Warrensville. The camera off to our right. This is pretty good. I like it.
I mean, clearly can see everything, and we're closer, really close to the floor.
We don't have our monitor out today. We can just watch the game from here and really call it perfectly. Jones will bounce it out. Sullivan, loose ball at his feet, and it's stripped. It's Nick Parker laid forward. Hill can't get it to go, and Nick Parker can't get the putback. And it will go out, I believe, against Ari Jones. But what a sequence. They had the fast break. Parker played great defense, was able to get the ball off.
Yeah, and Marcus Johnson acted like he was going to block it, but stays on the ground, ultimately causes the loose ball.
And both of these teams really built around faith. You see both teams praying before the game, at practice. Both Johnson brothers have really put their faith at the forefront of their coaching, giving the glory to God and doing all of that. That has really made these teams great. I mean, that's what you love to see. And even further with unity, everyone on both teams appears to be wearing the same shoes except one player wearing Grinches. That is unity right there, and I love that. Parker, the high point over Johnson. What a great play by the former Longhorn. And here comes Cheney, and Trevius rejected by Hines. And there is Nasir Hines making an impact. What a play. Johnson rolling right, will swing, far corner, Williams. It's it! Cornelius Williams, far corner cheese. It is Garfield up by 5.
Complimentary basketball, get the block and then get the 3 on the other end. Great sequence there from Garfield.
And Williams on the other end will commit a foul. And it looks like Braylon Sullivan will be thrust back into the matchup.
And I mean, Meechie Johnson, his passion for this game is unmatched. He's almost on the floor screaming at his team. This is what makes this rivalry so great.
And it appears Marcus Johnson will sub out of the ballgame. He appears to be okay. It looks like he's just a little bit gassed, but he's played this entire game so far. He can take his rest. Chambers will inbound. Hill hands it back off. Screen from Chappelle. They wanted it to be moving. Not enough evidence, says the refs. Chambers for 3. Air ball out of play. And at last touches Warrensville Heights.
It's going to go Garfield's way, but we'll see what Garfield could do without MJ on the floor.
This is where you will see Cornelius Williams or Devon Jackson step up. Williams with 3 points. Still no points for Devon Jackson. And history has shown us, when we mentioned that about Devon, he will score pretty quick. Let's see if that remains true here. Devon Jackson will swing into the corner. Braylon Sullivan. Great man defense here. Relentless by the Tigers.
And he walked.
Great call by the officials there.
They
The
got that one there. And Marcus Johnson's going to sub back into the game.
In comparison to the last 2 games that we have seen of Garfield Heights, I feel like Coach Johnson is making a lot more changes, keeping his players a lot more fresh, which I like.
Yeah, he's been subbing in and subbing out MJ very quickly, trying to give him a break to make sure that at the end of this game he can give his all.
17-12, Garfield Heights over Warrensville Heights, your score. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cheney cutting left on Devon Jackson. Bounce pass inside, tried to pick out Chappelle, but just couldn't get there. Great defense by the Bulldogs. And here they come on the offensive once again. Marcus Johnson on the far side will direct the traffic. He has 10 points so far. The only player in double figures for either side. Inside to Jones and banked in.
That's incredible vision by Marcus Johnson, showing off his passing ability when he's getting stopped by 3 Warrensville Heights defenders.
How many players does it take to stop Marcus Johnson? We'll never know. Chappelle, corner 3, misses wide iron, and Cornelius Williams will pick it up. A 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. They could make it double figures here. Cornelius sliding back, still a slippery court, something to watch out for. Cornelius makes his move. Ari Jones the tray, no good. Hines gets over Chappelle and grabs the rebound. And Jackson will take it outside the arc. A great play, potentially brewing, set up by Hines. Marcus Johnson. Hines continues to be a presence, getting open at the top of the arc as Johnson goes to the ground. And a timeout is called finally by Coach Sonny Johnson. A 30-second timeout to talk things over. I like that move from them.
Yeah, I do, but how about Nasir Hines? Making an impact with the block, with the rebound. He's getting his team and keeping his team in this game.
And I can barely hear you right now. You can just hear that band blasting. That's beautiful. That's what you want to hear at these games. The atmosphere is unmatched.
This feels like it's March. It really does. It feels like a March Madness tournament game.
This feels like a high school football regional final game. That's what it feels like to me at this point. And I've seen a couple of regional finals in my day. I believe it's only 2, but still. Actually 3. I covered 1. I called 2. I covered 1. But the atmosphere and the first 2, a lot better than the last one. The reason being, it was was Walsh Hoban at InfoCision on a cold, rainy night before Thanksgiving. You're not going to fill up that crowd as easy as we did at Maple. When you were at Padua, I was at Holy Name. Our junior year, we got to see that great game between the Bruins and the Green Wave at Maple. And then the year before at Canal, Fulton Northwest, Holy Name losing to West Holmes. The environment very similar to this, and we will hear it again on Tuesday night as Holy Name takes on Lutheran West at the Rock. The gym might be half the size, but the way it's built, and Gabe, you were there for the Summer League, so you can attest to this. Those enclosed gyms really project sound well and makes it feel like this 10 times bigger.
Yeah, it really does. When you have those enclosures like that, the sound carries that much more, and it's able to make it feel like you can't even hear, like you're talking to yourself.
And that is why we need to get more headphones. Johnson in the far corner has 10, will fling to Cornelius Williams, and Garfield Heights will take their time. Coach Sonny Johnson trying to give some instructions. Williams makes his move, step back in the key, rims left, and the rebound is taken in by Gio Hester. We will see a substitution of Rayshawn Myers potentially. Instead, he'll go back. On the offensive, Chambers the step back. Will fling, Parker barely keeps it, but still possession resides with Warrensville Heights. 3 minutes on the clock in the first half. Gum on the screen, Chambers in the corner, misses well wide.
And that's got to be over the back. Yeah, good call by the official.
And it will go against Nick Parker.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been the most clear and obvious over the back you can get.
Definitely clear. He went up trying to get the jump ball. If he could have held on for an extra second or two, maybe, just maybe you call that, but based on the way he went up for that basketball, you are not going to get that call 9 times out of 10. Officially less than 3 minutes to go in the first half. Williams will direct Devon Jackson to his right. Ari Jones looking to get open as well. MJ and Hines, the 5, as they will complete it. Tipped out of play, and it will stay with Garfield Heights.
Warrensville not getting too nervous by the fact that they're down early on in this game. They're still playing great defense, hustling for the ball, and creating possible turnovers. That one just didn't go their way, but if they keep doing it, a couple of them will.
Hester, Williams, Parker, Gum, and Chambers, the Warrensville 5. Williams going up against Nick Parker. He is joined by Johnson, Jackson, Jones, and Hines. Williams swings outside. Devon Jackson can't get that one to go from long range as Nick Parker will bring it down. Still a 7-point game, a low-scoring affair. Played inside. Hester can't get it to bank, and it will stay with Warrensville Heights.
That's a great cut by Hester. Couldn't finish it there, but once again, keep creating these opportunities. They're going to come through for you.
And we will see a big substitution here for Warrensville Heights. Jalen Billingsley, I know we really liked him in the last game. We saw him against Lutheran East. He had that clutch 3. He could be an impact player in this matchup. 2:12 on the clock, only 12 points scored in the first half. You need some sort of offensive spark. You need it to come from somewhere. Will it be from the sophomore? That is the question. Chambers will inbound to Gio Hester, matching up against Ari Jones. And Johnson gets a piece, keeps it alive. Here he goes. Marcus in transition is fouled. CJ Williams the culprit, and he is calling for all ball.
Like the call for the official.
And once again, we said it earlier on in this game. We are going to see this be a physical battle. Johnson can't get the first to go.
Into the game for the Bulldogs, number 5, Roderick Starling.
Rod Starling subbing in for the first time today as Nasir Hines checks out. Still the leading scorer for either side is Marcus Johnson with 10 points, 8 of which I believe came in this frame. And Johnson now with 11 points. A solid first half for him, but still plenty of work to do. Up by 8. Warrensville going into the half, they need some more points on the board. This could be a low-scoring battle to 50, but we will see. Gum, no look outside. Billingsley, there he is! Jalen Billingsley from downtown! And that is why you sub him in. 8-point game, down to 5.
Yeah, just like we said, they need some offense there, and they're finally able to get some there with Billingsley.
Johnson has Chambers greeting him immediately. MJ spinning, looking for a lane, steps back, right in front of the elbow, can't get it to go. And once again, it is Jalen Gum, the storyline of this game, making an impact. And we have a blocking foul called against Garfield Heights. That will be their second of the frame.
Marcus Johnson, that's his first, team second.
And that will be the first against Marcus Johnson.
Into the game.
You know, it was a foul. Marcus Johnson did what he was supposed to do, stop the ball, and use his body to make sure Chambers can't get under the rim for an easy finish.
1:16 on the clock, still plenty of basketball left to go. Stay tuned at halftime as we will talk through this one. Low-scoring affair. Who's winning the battle in the paint? And can MJ will Garfield Heights to a victory? That and more at the half. Hill going up for it. It's blocked by Starling. It stays with Warrensville. Billingsley. That time it's off kilter. Starling bounces it, and it will stay with Warrensville Heights. Not enough on it to keep it from going back to the Tigers.
Billingsley got the message. He understands this game. He knows his teammates' three-pointers. Gets a good look there, but is unfortunately unable to finish. But with more of those open looks, Garfield's got to be careful because he's going to start sinking them, and their lead is going to shrink fast.
Johnson will sub out. We don't know if we will see him again in this.
Sending a message. They want to get back in this game quick and fast. But they're going to need some of these threes to hit because if they don't, they could start having a poor offensive drives, and Garfield could run away with this one.
And as expected, we will see Marcus Johnson sub back into the ball game and immediately get a hug.
Yeah.
Gio Hester saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. So 55.2 seconds on the clock in the first half. This has been an exciting game. Even though it's a low-scoring game, this is very similar to that CCC Glenville game. Gabe, you weren't there with us for that one, but still, if you watch any of those highlights, it was a low-scoring game at first, and then the Ville was able to pull away at the end, and they were really able to make a statement in that game against Coach Duncan and a very talented CCC group. And more impressively in that game, they held King Young to 0 points.
And Warrensville's being very physical guarding Marcus Johnson.
Williams swings inside, Jones gets it to go. Ari Jones, a great traffic finish against Gio Hester.
And Warrensville catches up right there. Garfield stays in the back court and almost gets a steal there, but they're lucky for a kickball violation.
The Christmas Classic might be over. It ended this past weekend. But still, we are seeing the trap be a critical part of this game. And I think it speaks a lot to how that competition is run by Coach Sonny Johnson, that teams that play in it will keep that style of play throughout the year, and they are a lot of the teams that you expect to see come late March. And you'll see them about an hour, maybe half hour from you in Cincinnati?
Something like that.
20 seconds left to go in the first half. Chambers could potentially hold for the final shot, but still we see a lot of players wait until 10 seconds, make their move, and give one final possession to their opponent. 10 seconds on the clock. Chambers moves slightly.
Gotta go.
5 seconds. Here comes Noah Chambers making his move in the lane, and he is fouled. Patience pays off.
Yeah, that's a great show of patience there by Noah Chambers, killing the clock, not allowing Garfield to get another opportunity before the half ends. That's great coaching by Meechie Johnson.
And these two coaches, we will say it a ton during this game, and we already have two of the best coaches in the state. Right now, if I had a Coach of the Year ballot in NEO, those two gentlemen are on it. I like Kevin Sapporo from Strongsville. I like him on that list. And then trying to think of one more I really like. I mean, Lutheran West, with a lot of their stars leaving, you could give it to Jordan Duke. Could you give it to Brian Ansbury of Padua? They have looked really good this year.
They have looked really good. Still a lot of season left, but Riley Cervanka and them boys, they're doing their thing. They're getting some wins to start off the season.
And he just committed to the Lake Erie Storm. Chambers splits the pair. Final shot of the half. Williams can't even get one off, and that is all she wrote for the first half. It looked like the clock started a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. Garfield Heights 22, Warrensville Heights 16. We will step aside and be back on in a few minutes for the halftime show. This is high school boys basketball on SmeeSports.
Gyro, Euro, or Gyro, no matter which way you say it,
the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. Check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you. as we come back on for the halftime show. Shout out to the Warrensville Heights High School band. Definitely loud and definitely proud. If you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the greater Cleveland or Stark County areas, contact me at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote you and your business/brand. Thank you to our broadcast sponsors, along with NEO Youth Elite, who brought us in for the Christmas Classic this past week, for making these broadcasts possible for you, the listeners/viewers at home. As we change audio sources real quick. Now we can go on camera so you can actually see us as we will spin things around here. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Gabriel Koza, a.k.a. Vanilla Sports, alongside me. Gabe, an exciting first half, 22-16. Your thoughts?
It's been an incredible game. We started off this game with kind of defensive dominance. People were on the floor, diving for loose balls. Guys were being playing aggressive on-ball defense. But as the second half started, we saw Marcus Johnson hit a couple threes. We saw Warrensville hit a couple threes as well. So look to see kind of more offensive performance avalanching into the third and fourth quarter, as both teams, it's going to be extremely hard to lock someone down on defense for this long.
It definitely will. Only 16 minutes left to go in this game. The defense will get more intense. The offense will do likewise. Every little minute detail will matter a little bit more as we enter the second half of this game. Warrensville Heights already out on the floor right now. Gabe, if you were Coach Meechie Johnson, what the heck did you tell your boys at halftime? Down by 6, looking to make a statement.
Well, you're down by 6. It's not over yet. It's not even close to being over. Keep up the defense. I think they've done a good job on defense. There's been a couple fouls, but overall, I mean, they've caused travels from Marcus Johnson. They've caused a lot of mistakes from Garfield Heights. So they're doing something right on that end of the ball. But offensively, you've got to get the ball on that rim, man. Not immediately, but at some point they're going to have to start hitting threes. They're going to have to start going on runs, because basketball's a game of runs. But overall, it's not over yet. Keep up the aggression, keep up the tenacity, and keep playing.
And as well, before we get into the second half, we have a bunch of games scheduled before I head back to Alliance to bring you some more Aviator and Duke girls and boys basketball. On January 6th, this Monday, we will be back at Padua as they host Lake Catholic in a girls basketball game. I hope you guys can hear me at this point. That band is loud over there, and I love it. On the 7th, we are at the Rock, so expect another atmosphere like this as Lutheran West takes on Holy Name, 7:30 p.m. tip. On Wednesday, we will be at the Rec Center at Cleveland State, a triple header of the P League. We are looking forward to bringing that to the viewers at home. A lot of great talent in that league. I believe that league is sponsored by Miles Garrett in part, so that will be big. Hopefully we will see Miles Garrett's name attached to that league, and as well with Cleveland synonymously for the next couple of years. Hopefully Miles stays with us. And then the next game after that will not be on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. It will be on channel 1022 and on Foxcast, January 10th. As of right now, we are on as scheduled. Arlington Alliance, the Backyard Brawl, 7 p.m. from Harry Fales Gymnasium. Our first game at SmeeSports back in Alliance will be on the 17th as Carrollton rolls into Alliance to take on the Marlington Dukes. To stay up to date on all the games I am covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter, and subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. We've hit every goal possible so far, so the next goal, 1,000 by June 1st. As of right now, we are nearing 600, so we are definitely getting closer and closer to that goal. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed over the past couple of days, weeks, and months. Without you, our production here would not be possible. Switching back seamlessly to our other audio source, 22-16. Once again, your score. He is Gabriel Koza. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening. Gabe, we hear the band. We see the crowd, a sold-out crowd, a playoff atmosphere. What gives in the second half?
Well, I think what gives for me is, if you're Garfield, you got to somehow get past this aggressive defense and get points in the rim. And if you're Warrensville, you got to somehow get some points on the board to start off this half.
Both sides need to be equally potent if they would like to win this ball game. Ari Jones already has 4 points, all of which have come in the paint. He will swing Devon Jackson, a player looking to get hot in the second half. No points as of right now. He will look to change that in the coming minutes. Cornelius Williams has a 3 to his name so far. Playing inside to the leading scorer for either side in Marcus Johnson. High pass Williams. Garfield drilling clock early. Williams shifting left, and he will reset once again. So Garfield playing conservative to begin this second half.
Yeah,
Jackson.
like a double dribble there.
It definitely did. Williams takes it back outside the arc at the logo. He has CJ Williams in his face. Still no shots 1 minute into the second half as we look to be rerunning the first quarter. Jackson, top of the arc. Ari Jones makes his move inside. High point off the window, no good. And CJ Williams will come down with possession. And here come the Tigers in transition. A 6-point mountain to climb in a slugfest. Chambers will step back. Warrensville in no hurry, but a wide open three makes them hurry. No dice. Hines tips it, and it will stay.
And advocates for a high school basketball shot clock are going to point to that possession right there. But Garfield's doing a nice job of holding the ball. They got the lead, so they can kill clock, and that's what they should do, and just waiting for a good shot.
And I agree with that shot clock. We saw that this past weekend in Canton. A lot of great media there. We need to see a shot clock. It would definitely help. Chambers well downtown, no good. Chappelle gets the rebound, is stripped, still has possession in the paint, puts it up over Hines, it's swatted. 1 dash mark next to Hines now. A great battle between him and Chappelle. Johnson goes coast to coast and somehow sneaks it in.
Yeah, that's an incredible hop step there to get through the traffic and ultimately finish the layup.
Chambers working quick into the corner. Will find Cheney. The step back fade over Ari Jones. No good. Chappelle tips it outside. Cheney gets it back. And now here comes the offense once again. Off the window, no good. Hines gets it forward. He is heating up to Jackson. The give and go. And the and one. Marcus Jackson, are you serious? The media on that baseline loves it. MJ loves it. What can that man do?
Would love to see a shot from that angle right there on the floor. What a finish by Marcus Johnson.
I know Varsity has his Instagram live stream. I could probably tell you the reaction right now. Ooh, Marcus, what a basket.
I mean,
if that is accurate, I am hoping that is accurate. Shout out Rock, though, for doing that, making sure everyone can watch it, whether they follow him on Instagram or are subscribed and are watching here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. But once that delay ends and he sees it, I'm sure I'll be getting a text at some point. Johnson completes the and one. And you'll be able to hear Varsity call the game at Lutheran West with me on Tuesday. Excited to have Rock join me in the broadcast perch. Chambers will swing the three. On point! CJ Williams, his first 3 points of the game. Gets it a little bit closer, back to 8. Garfield started to pull away, and the train has halted. Johnson going left, stepping back in the lane, in the paint. It's tipped, but no matter.
All the shots that are starting to take over this game, which is bad news for Warrensville Heights.
And that is why he is on the all-ball team. I believe he is, now I have to think here, the 4th member of the boys' side of it. And that three is good from Chambers. 5th overall, 4th total. And now we're back to a 7-point game. Chambers heating up when it matters most. He has 10 points, and that is why he won MVP in the victory over Lutheran East. Johnson, no look, Williams. It's in! Cornelius Williams in front of Coach Sonny Johnson. Full timeout call.
Just when Warrensville starts making threes, Garfield hits a three there to return the favor. What a quarter so far.
It has definitely been exciting. 4:45 on the clock, 32-22. Sonny Johnson's been on top. Gyro, Euro, or Gyro. No matter which way you say it, the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you. .445 on the clock in quarter number 3. It has been an exciting affair so far. 32-22, Garfield Heights in the driver's seat. This game's still far from over. Warrensville Heights will have possession, but if you are Meechie Johnson in that huddle, you are trying to overcome a very tough deficit and a very big three-pointer. How do you do that?
Well, it's going to be tough, but I think it's important to stress to the guys that this game's not over yet. Even though it might seem like it because they're matching all your baskets, still a lot of basketball to go there, and you can't stop fighting. CJ
Williams at the top of the arc against Devon Jackson will hand it off behind. Hill flings it high in the air, and Ari Jones comes down with the loose ball. Great defense by the Bulldogs. But still, it's a 10-point game. A lot of basketball. A lot can happen. Johnson flings high, Hines outside, Williams misses, back iron, no good, loose ball, and it is snatched by CJ Williams. Warrensville has another chance to put some points on the board. Hill outside, Chambers from well downtown, off front rim, no good. The pinball, it stays with Hill, and Hill will fall to the ground.
And I believe it's going to be Warrensville gets the possession arrow there.
And we will see another big change for Warrensville Heights, one that I know that we both like Billingsley in.
Yeah, they need some scoring here, so that's a smart move by Meechie Johnson.
Billingsley only 3 points, 1 for 2 outside the arc. He has been tremendous so far in his minimal sample size.
Yeah.
You're out there for a minute, you have 3 points. That's what you want. Chambers in the corner, matching up with Cornelius Williams. Chappelle in the post, spinning left. Can't beat Hines, and Hines gets the rebound. He was fooled once, but not twice. Jones, it's swatted out of play. Camden Hill paced back and swatted it.
Yeah, what a block there by Hill. To be able to find that ball midair and swat it away. They're going to call it a foul there.
Number 15.
That's a tough one. Garfield up by 10. A chance to further extend that lead.
Yeah, they don't have many chances, so they gotta make the most of them.
And the first is good. Ari Jones, amid the yellow sea, was able to sink it. Chappelle will sub out, and we will see the return of Jalen Gum. 2 points on the day, but his defense has really been his calling card. A basket good from Ari Jones. Jones now with 6 points, 34-22. A 12-point mountain to climb, but not impossible. Chambers cutting left, Euros inside, stripped by Williams, and it will stay with Warrensville Heights. Definitely a big call there. The defense of Garfield Heights has been on point. You could not have asked for anything better from them.
They're not allowing Warrensville any chances to come back into this game.
These Tigers, they've been close to finding a way back in, but since then, a 5-0 run. Gum in the post. It's swatted by Nasir Hines.
Hines making a statement in this quarter. Earlier we saw Chappelle try and get something to go for him on the low block on the left side. Hines plays good defense, and he plays good defense there with the rejection.
As the season has progressed, more and more Nasir Hines has been an extremely valuable member of this Garfield Heights team. Gum in the paint, no look outside, Billingsley, it's in! Jalen Billingsley from downtown once again. Now a 9-point game. There's a chance. Johnson swings wide open, Williams. Bounces high, no good. Gum lets it go, it goes to Warrensville.
Yeah, that's what it takes to stop Marcus Johnson. He's a little shaken up on the play. I mean, he had 3 guys try and stop him. Makes a smart decision and finds open man. Let's hope Marcus is okay.
I think it's more just the wind got knocked out of him.
I mean, he ran right into 3 Warrensville Heights Tigers.
That is tough to recover from. 34-25, 3 left to go in the third. And you see Coach Johnson jumping and has to get back. Coach of the ref, send him back. Shout out Sean McVeigh. Nick Parker, low pass. Billingsley has 6 points. We'll give it back to Parker. The press getting more and more difficult to break down as it's just relentless pressure. Hale inside against Ari Jones. It's swatted by Nasir Hines. Billingsley, the three. It's in! Jalen Billingsley does it again. It's a 6-point game.
He's getting hot, fellas, and that's a dangerous news if you're Garfield Heights.
And played inside, and that one's too easy for Rayshawn Myers, who now has 4 points. But Nasir Hines, that block, everyone who was rooting for Garfield thought, hey, we did it. Billingsley says not so fast, in the words of Lee Corso.
I mean, Garfield has dominated this quarter. Only reason why it's not really reflected in the score is because of Billingsley.
And now Camden Hill, his first field goal of the game. He has 4. It is a 5-point game. Marcus Johnson knows what he has to do, and you can see him on your screen, ominously looking on, waiting for his opportunity to come back in. Williams skating, hands it off. What can the Bulldogs do on this possession? Played inside, no good. Gum the rebound, says he has came in. This has been a different Warrensville Heights beast. The spin outside, Gum. Coach Meechie Johnson giving some instructions. Chambers off the screen. High, no good. Hines gets the rebound against Gum, and that is why you have his height in the low post.
Yeah, Hines has been great this quarter. A couple blocks and a big rebound there for the Garfield Heights.
Still a minute 15 on the clock. Williams in the lane, will swing outside, picked off by Nick Parker. And here come those Tigers, coast to coast, no good. The putback not there. Chambers thought he had it. So close, but yet so far. Jackson makes a man miss. Bang! Devon Jackson on the board, and Nick Parker is sent to the media.
That's a big 3 there.
Makes it an 8-point game, and a timeout is called. 39-31, less than a minute to go in the third. A low-scoring game. It looks like 50 is the point mark to get to. How do you get there right now?
Well, I want to say that was a big 3 there for Garfield. Marcus Johnson on the sideline. He got to get some points on the board. They're able to do that there. But in terms of getting to 50, I feel like Garfield's played a great quarter. It's just that Warrensville Heights made some really, really deep threes. But I think if you're Garfield, you're willing to live with that because that's kind of an inefficient shot. You're not going to shoot that at 100% rate. That's maybe a 30% shot. So Garfield's looking really, really good this quarter, and they're looking to take over this game.
And they need to if they want to win. If you leave it late against Warren and the confidence that they possess with head coach Jermaine Gay, they can win any given Sunday, or Monday, or any day of the week. 48.7 seconds on the clock, 39-31, Warrensville Heights in the deficit mark. Garfield, they just look to hold on right now. Billingsley still on the floor for the Tigers. It won't matter. He won't get a chance on offense as that ball is tossed out of play. Myers forces the error.
Yeah, at this point in this game, your Warrensville cannot be having turnovers like that.
And they will quickly bring in Zaire Cheney for Chambers. Billingsley now pretty much confirmed the number 1 option on the floor.
Yeah, interesting to take out Noah Chambers, though, at this point in the game with this offensive production.
I don't mind it at all. You see Billingsley, you let him run this offense. Let's see how many threes he can make. Jackson, step back. That time he can't get it to go. Jones comes down with a rebound over Gum. A big board, the spin left, the outlet, Myers, and one! Rayshawn Myers has come alive!
Wow. And how about Ari Jones? You know, not as tall as Gum at all, but he's still battling in there and getting that offensive rebound, big offensive rebound to set up the and one.
You need a player like Ari Jones. The amount of hustle he has. This is his first year at Garfield. It's not like he has been in the city his entire life, played for them his entire life. He is fighting for his teammates, and he is fighting for Coach Johnson. And you need that hustle. You need that sort of drive. Going back to Holy Name basketball, an Aiden Butler type player. But in this case, more scoring. Hill will settle 10 points to make up. About 10 seconds on the clock in the third.
Warrensville just going to run it out, it appears.
Parker makes his move, beats everyone, and makes it. That was the right move. The lane was open. You take that. Myers flings outside. Sullivan, no good, and that will end the third quarter. A big rebound. An 8-point Mountain 2 climb. Garfield Heights thought they pulled away, but Warrensville Heights racing behind them, looking for any way back in. 8 minutes left to go in regulation. We step aside. Gyro, Euro, or Gyro, no matter which way you say it, the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. Check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you. Left to go in regulation. 41-33, Garfield Heights in the lead, but not in the driver's seat. Until this game reached triple zeros on the clock, there is really no advantage.
No, absolutely not. And to start off, we got both coaches and both staffs going to the scorer's table. I'm not sure what that's about. Can't be a clock issue or anything.
It might be who gets the basketball. But still, it should be Warrensville Heights, but I think they gave it to them to begin the second half.
It should be Warrensville.
Because they won the opening tip. That's the argument they should be making there, as I believe Meechie Johnson, you could read his lips saying it's our ball.
Yeah.
But still, before we get back underway, a few big games next week starting on Monday. Padua Lake Catholic girls basketball, 7 p.m. tip at Padua High School. Tuesday, we are at The Rock. Holy Name takes on Lutheran West, 7:30 p.m. tip. Wednesday, a triple header at Cleveland State's Rec. It is the P League on SmeeSports. And then next Tuesday, the 14th of January, we will be back at Garfield Heights High School for a big clash between Holy Name and Garfield Heights, and that will about close out our coverage of NEO basketball for this season, as we will turn our attention back to the Alliance area. A lot of great games still to play out there. We have a backyard brawl upcoming on channel 1022 and on Boxcast, and then we will have the backyard brawl at Marlington on SmeeSports as the official live stream of both Alliance and Marlington High Schools.
And they're going to give it to Garfield, it looks like.
So it looks like maybe because Garfield touched the opening tip, that's the only thing I could think of.
And the ref separating the brothers.
This is the one game you don't give a tech to either coach if they're talking.
No.
They're having fun. You see Sonny Johnson smiling on that sideline. Coach Meechie Johnson, he just wants one against his brother.
Yeah, and he's really confused as to how Garfield has the ball.
And based on the great reporting of Matt Gould, I believe Meechie, after criticizing Christmas dinner, is not allowed back for next year. It was something like that. A lot of great things going into this rivalry. As Sonny Johnson says, it's going down, and it has definitely gone down. Williams will take it on the inbound. 8 minutes left to go in regulation, but regulation might not be enough to separate these two mammoths. Williams taking his time will find Marcus Johnson. Johnson so far an 18-point evening. A step back. Oh. That's usually when he goes for the three. It looks like he will wait for some more Johnson magic.
He had it open there.
And he's still taking his time. 30 seconds into the final frame. Marcus cutting, going back left and right. Goes cross court and a foul is finally called.
Yeah, I think it might be time for high school basketball to add a shot clock. You know, I think you got to prepare these players for the next level where there will be a shot clock, and it also makes it more entertaining basketball.
Because really the final 2 minutes of an 8-point game is the fouling game, and you really want to see that in the final minute at the earliest.
Yeah.
Jones to inbound, going to Marcus Johnson. Warrensville, they need to force some turnovers, and they need to make Garfield Heights work quick. This is their house. They need to make it their house. Johnson against Nick Parker, bounce pass into the corner, finding Cornelius Williams. Garfield about to waste 1 minute of the final 8. Jones moving on the screen, lucky not to make contact. Parker steals it. Finally, Warrensville has some offense, and they can't get the points right there, but a foul is called.
I mean, how much time did they burn off the clock through that?
Until the clock stopped on the shot, 1:03.
I mean, you gotta add a shot clock, but it's smart play by Garfield. Knowing where you are in the game, knowing the lead you have, it's exactly what you need to do. Take advantage of the rules and take up as much time as you can.
And I feel like if this game was played at Garfield Heights, you would see them going to score. They just know what this home crowd can do.
Yeah.
The first of 2, no good from Parker. And this is a tough spot to be in. Nick Parker, 2 points. You need to make these. You need to make it a close game. I give him a lot of credit for being as calm as he is. And that's why he splits the pair. And that will work. He has 3 points. He's seen it. If they go back to him, they can trust him. Wide open, Devon Jackson. No good. Gum hits it out of play, and it will stay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Gum got his hand up there. It looked like it came off of him, so it's going to be Garfield ball.
I believe it did. His hand just got a little bit too much on the basketball. It's tough. You have to decide what you want more, the rebound or possession. And I don't think there was really a median where you could get both. But you never know. Maybe if you rerun that play at practice 1,000 times, maybe a couple you do. Johnson hit in a triple team. Jackson outside, you always have to keep a man on him. And Warrensville Heights doing a great job switching. Devon, it's blocked, it is stolen. A great defensive play, Tavian Anderson, Euros. Can't get it to go, off the back iron. Jones picks it up, bounce pass, Devon Jackson against Gum, and he gets it to go.
Garfield gave him a chance, he just couldn't finish the free throw and couldn't finish the layup.
That was tough for Warrensville. They needed that basket. Now, can they get some points back? A 3 would be huge, making it a 6-point game. And a foul is called, as it looks like neither team, if they do need to foul, will have any trouble getting into the bonus.
No, they won't, but Warrensville's got it. I mean, still 6:03 left, but you got to start making some shots here because we know how fast Garfield could make this not into a game.
I think one more 3 from Garfield Heights. You're up by 12. I know infamously the Alliance Northwest game, Alliance was down by 12 and they came back and won, but this is a different game. That game, the winning team scored 60. In this one, the winning team will score less than 60, I would say, easily. Yeah. Unless Marcus Johnson goes on a tear and starts scoring every basket or we go to overtime. You never know. Cheney plays it back out to Chambers. And a travel is called against Noah Chambers. And that will give possession back to Garfield Heights. They continue to force errors.
Yeah, see a lot of both teams moving too many feet there with those travel calls.
And that could also be in large part due to how slick this court has been.
I mean, yeah, the JV game, as soon as that ended, players were warming up, so.
Johnson goes quick, gets it to go. Marcus Johnson able to get the lucky roll. He now has an impressive 18. The slide, Anderson will hand it back off to Cheney. Cheney going left, body pass, Sullivan can't get it to go, and a foul is finally called, and it looks like it will be on the shot.
I'm going to say that was one of the rare times of basketball that there was 0% chance that layup was going in. Nasir Hines was going to send that all the way to Madagascar if he was going to get that ball anywhere near the rim.
It's like on 2K, you have the poor release. Even though that release was not poor, you just have that 0% come up on your screen. You just know it's over. 2 big free throws for Zaire Cheney upcoming. Warrensville, they have struggled in the free throw department so far today, and that might be the difference in this one. The first one, no good. And it looks like Sonny Johnson wants to score to change. It should be 47. So in that case, it would be 20 points for Marcus Johnson. And they still haven't changed it. The fans are young, it should be 47. I think it should be 47 as well. I don't think they ever added the point.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
So now the scorers are going to convene, and there it is.
They got it. But, I mean, he's rightfully frustrated. You got to make that got to get that accounted for because basketball moves so fast. Before you know it, the game's moved on too far, you can't change it.
And as well with fouls, we saw that in the Toledo-Whitmer game last year for Garfield Heights. They said that the player fouled out earlier than he did, and that ended up being the difference because it was like a 3-point game in the end. Garfield felt that game should have been replayed, and they actually did make an official statement to the OHSAA trying to get it replayed. And they almost got it to their credit. That would have been impressive if they would have, but still they weren't able to get it done. If you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcast, whether it be in the greater Cleveland or Stark County areas, contact me at one of those 3 avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of you, your business, and your brand. Thank you to our broadcast sponsors for today, Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton, for bringing you this contest of brother versus brother basketball, which has been really, really exciting. It has lived up to the hype, I would say.
Definitely, man. I mean, both teams are playing well. Coaches are coaching their teams to the absolute fullest. And we're going to see here if Warrensville Heights can kind of squeak back into this game. It's going to be tough, though.
And it starts here with 5:28 on the clock. Warrensville Heights, they need a defensive stop. They need a turnover, they need quick points, and they need to be smart with the ball. No more mistakes. This needs to be a clean final 5.5 minutes. But the question is, how can Garfield respond? Coach Meechie Johnson wants a foul to be called as yet another body hits the deck. Marcus Johnson pedaling right, goes in the lane, tips. Hines can't get it cleanly. He is trapped, has an outlet at Ari Jones, and Ari Jones makes it.
What a cut by Ari Jones.
A full team effort. Williams will take it up the floor with a full head of steam, down 14. They need some points with 5 to go. Hill, the far corner, that will help. Camden Hill now with 7 points, back to an 11-point game, but still a mountain to climb. Johnson working quick. They wanted a charge and they get it.
Yeah, that's a great play there by Noah Chambers to get his body in front of Marcus Johnson, set his feet, draw the charge.
And this is what I wanted to see from Warrensville Heights in the second half. Great defense, forcing mistakes, getting the ball back. You want to see them be able to work like that and better. A 12-point game. I guess they call that 3 a 2. 49-37 the score. Definitely a lot of confusion in this game. Marcus Johnson, still your highest scorer with 20 points. Chambers at the top of the arc, stepping back, thought about it, inside, picked off. Braylon Sullivan up the floor, Cornelius Williams. Only Chambers to beat, can't do it, but a blocking foul is called, and Noah Chambers can't believe it.
I mean, that was a great effort by Chambers. His head almost touched the rim there. He got all the way up there, and it draws a foul.
And that just shows how tough Warrensville Heights is playing. They are getting back on defense. They are hustling up the floor, down the floor, left, right, center, wherever they need to be, they get there. But Williams wins that battle. Can he win the war? The first one says no. If this one goes in, Garfield at the 50-point mark, up 13. Is it over at that point?
It might be. I mean, Warrensville's got to get some stops, like you said. They got to limit these turnovers. But most of all, they got to score.
And that one also no good. 2 big misses from Cornelius Williams. And now here comes Warrensville Heights down 12. They can make it a 9 or 10-point game. Cheney cutting inside, spinning on Johnson, loose ball foul.
And yeah, those free throws are big. Those missed free throws are big, because not only did he miss them, but it also stopped the clock. And Garfield couldn't do the thing where they pretty much hold the ball for 20, 30, 40 seconds and burn all that time off the clock.
And that is the 3rd foul against Marcus Johnson. That is huge. But still, his coach, his dad, cool, calm, and collected on the sidelines. The first of 2 is good. And it looks like they didn't put it on the board. It should be 49-38.
Yeah.
I have no clue what they're discussing right now.
I don't know.
Are they discussing if it was on the shot or not? That's the only thing I could possibly think of right now.
They could be.
And that is a fair discussion.
Yeah,
we could talk
is.
about it. I initially thought it wasn't, but obviously we don't have video replay in OHSAA basketball quite yet, which I feel like that is the next thing that should come into OHSAA basketball along with the shot clock. They have it for the Final Four. They need it for every game, especially with a broadcast camera, huddle camera, in some cases 2 huddle cameras. You have enough angles that you can make it. And even, how hard would it be to have a ref cam even? Or someone on the baseline with their phone. One of the videographers have to give up their film. They can make it happen. It just depends if they will. And now they put the point on the board. And Coach Sonny Johnson speaking his truth.
Yeah, both coaches going back and forth advocating for their team.
Sonny Johnson has been all smiles this game for the most part. He is loving this.
I mean, he's got a nice lead, 11-point lead, on the road, a tough environment. He can't be too mad at his team so far.
Check out HSLD, check out Matt Gould, check out everyone after this game. Check out NEO Youth Elite, check out Meechie, check out everyone. Social media is going to be nuts after this game. 4 minutes left to go in regulation. Jones pivoting, loses the ball, able to get it back. Great defense, a double team, too much to overcome. Loose ball, Johnson almost tackled. It goes to Warrensville. Chambers in traffic, makes it. How did he do that?
Ball goes out of play there. What a finish by Noah Chambers.
I think they wanted a jump ball. He barely avoids it, barely.
I mean, by a split second. But great awareness there, because that jump ball, I don't know who would have had possession there, but it could have potentially derailed a comeback.
But you still want that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
It's a 9-point game, 3:48 on the clock. But still, that basket, it's better than a jump ball.
For sure.
It is a lot better. And that trap, it's starting to work. If you're Ari Jones, who is inbounding, you need to be aware, okay, if one guy is coming and I start to hear footsteps, I have to have a 3-second timer in my head. I have to find an outlet. Okay, who's to my left, who's to my right? You don't try and hook it high because you will be intercepted by Gum, who has been a tremendous ball hawk in the paint. If you see Marcus to your left, I feel like that's one you could go high point. If he is matched up against Nick Parker like it looks like he will be, that matchup has favored Marcus all night. High point it, you get it to Marcus, you reset the offense.
Yeah.
Williams will take it on the inbound, has Noah Chambers right there. Chambers has had a decent amount of fouls so far tonight. He needs to be careful, and there is that trap. A great outlet by Williams, finding Johnson as we predicted. Bounced, and it's stolen.
Defense.
Cheney in transition, Johnson to beat, and he gets it to go. He wanted the and one in, I think they give it.
It's a late foul, but it's the right call. Look, I mean, the defense on that, the all-ball defense on Marcus Johnson, unreal.
And that's the 4th on Marcus Johnson. One more foul, and MJ is out.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's got to play extremely conservative defensively. If you're Garfield, try and put him on Warrensville's least productive offensive player so you don't get him another foul.
Hines can't get the rebound cleanly. It goes to Ari Jones. A 7-point game. This one's still far from over, and OT might be calling. Jackson plants, will fake. Almost surprised he didn't launch that.
Probably should have shot that.
Williams. Euros outside, they wanted to travel. Jackson off the front rim, gets his own rebound and banks it in. Resilience by Devon Jackson, who now has 7 points. Timeout called by Coach Sonny Johnson, a full timeout.
And Gum is hurt. He's limping to the sideline. Big injury to monitor there for Warrensville.
And I love that young man's hustle. I don't think we expected him to be like this. We expected this to be the Wayne Chappelle show. But instead, it is Gum. And Gum, when the stage calls for it, he has stepped up. 3:02 left to go in regulation. Garfield by 9. Gyro, Euro, or Gyro. No matter which way you say it, the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you. As we return to Warrensville Heights High School, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the greater Cleveland or Stark County areas, contact me at one of those 3 avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote you, your business, and your brand. Thank you to Nico's Bar and Gyros for being our sponsor of this game and being a season-wide sponsor. All the games in NEO, you have seen Nico's. Only thing left for you to do, go there and try their delicious food. Hoping to get there in the next couple of days. I can go for some gyros right now for sure. Warrensville on the inbound, going forward, playing quick, down by 9. Cheney able to get it past Hines, but can't get it to go. A big miss, and it's quickly flung back. Chambers gets it, goes up, and is fouled.
I mean, how hard is that to do, to get around Hines like that with his length and his shot blocking ability as Noah Chambers is down?
And I can tell you who will be coming in if that is the case, if he's not on the floor. It looks like it'll be Nick Parker, but I'm surprised it's not going to be Billingsley. But his knee, it did not look good, a heavy fall.
Yeah, Warrensville dealing with some injuries. Already Gum injured on the sideline, and now Chambers. Hopefully it's just a cramp, and he could potentially come back towards the end of this game.
But the grit and grind he has shown, everyone on this court has shown tonight. You have to applaud that. These are young men who 2 nights ago probably stayed up well past midnight celebrating the new year. And even last night, they could have stayed up really late doing whatever. But January 2nd, the world resumes, work back in session, and they produce.
Yeah.
You have to applaud that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, stepping up when you're needed. There's a lot of pressure for both teams, but both teams, if either team loses, neither of them are going to be able to say one of the reasons why we lost is because we weren't physical. Because they've both been extremely physical in this game.
And as a former athlete myself, coming back after those holidays is not easy. I don't know if you remember this game, but I think it was New Year's Eve 4 years ago. We played, I think, Madden 20 until like 3 a.m. And that is when we kept doing the fake field goal with the O-lineman and getting him passes. 4 hours later, I had lift. Yeah. Was it a smart decision in hindsight? No. Sorry, Coach Day. Sorry, Coach Wando. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but I only played 1 year of football, so it didn't really matter. But still, these guys a lot more focused than I was back when I was 14, 15 years old, so I respect it.
And how about Chambers still in the game? I mean, this guy's a fighter.
Can't make that one, but very reminiscent of when Kobe was injured, went out there, took his free throws. You need that fighter, and he has definitely been that energetic spark. Johnson needs to be careful. Any more fouls, he is out of the game. Myers plays it inside of Jones. Jones will take it out. 8-point lead for Garfield Heights, but Warrensville Heights still playing tight defense with 2.5 left to go in regulation. Hooked. Jackson stepping back, taking his time, being trapped. Myers inside. Jones gets it to go. Ari Jones off the glass. Another big basket. A 10-point lead for Garfield Heights. They need a 3. They need points. In the lane. It's in. Tavian Anderson Cheney able to get that one to go. It looked like Tavian Anderson on the shot, but no, an 8-point game. Timeout called, as it looks like we do have a lot of fans going towards the exits.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the reasons why, what a masterful offensive job there by Garfield. Playing keep away, and then waiting for the absolute right opportunity to get the ball to Ari Jones, and Ari Jones makes a great finish at the rim. You can't do much better than that.
Not at all. They have been tremendous. Ari Jones, you won't really see him given player of the game honors for this. Once again, stay tuned after our commercial break as we will announce our player of the game. 10 points. The bank has been open early and often in this game, and Ari Jones is the difference maker. You look at that scoreboard. Take Ari off the board. It's a 2-point lead for Warrensville.
Yeah, and it's one of the biggest reasons why Garfield's one of the best teams, because they don't have to solely rely on Marcus Johnson scoring 20 or 30 points like he did in the NEO Youth Elite Classic. They can rely on other players like Ari Jones. They can rely on good coaching to guide them through tough games, and other players like Nasir Hines to play excellent defense. So many good players on this Garfield team. That's a big reason why they're going to be contenders of the state championship this year.
And just a reminder with Garfield, Sonny Johnson, one of the best coaches. Marcus Johnson, one of the best players. If they both have off nights, you have so many other players, as you just said. Marcus averaged 30 at Youth Elite, put up 20 tonight. In that Cleveland Heights game, we'll go back to it, he had 23 points. Devon Jackson, 16. Braylon Sullivan, 15 points. They picked up 31 points of slack.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference. They were able to take down Cleveland Heights 73-66 in that affair because of those guys.
Yeah.
And even whatever you want to say about the Richmond game, no Dorian Jones, no problem. Garfield would have won that game, I feel like, if he was on the floor anyway. The trap almost works. Warrensville wants possession. They have a case. It goes to Garfield, though.
Yeah, they have a case. It was close, but like you said, with no replay assist, it's just almost impossible to tell if that was really the right call or not without it being blatantly obvious.
And it's tough in a game like this.
Yeah.
Every call is going to be scrutinized. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on the baseline, a couple guys in the stands, plus the broadcast. You have those many cameras to please. Johnson can't get it to go, and a big rebound by Tavian Anderson. Here come the Tigers, hungry for points, and they don't get it to go. It's a loose ball, and Cheney picks it up. Second chance opportunity for Warrensville Heights. Cheney, too much on it. Somehow, someway, Hines gets it away. Here comes Marcus Johnson, floats it, bounces, no good. Loose ball ripped away, and a jump ball should be the call.
And my question is, where's Jalen Billingsley? I mean, you need 3-point scoring in this game. He should be in the ball game.
I don't think he fouled out. He's on the bench.
Interesting decision there. There's got to be something off because I would think he'd be in the game at this point.
You never know, but you just have to trust the coaching of Meechie Johnson. You have to trust it. And we said the same thing about King Young in the CCC game. Great drive, no good, but a foul is called.
And that's it, that's 5. He's out.
Marcus Johnson, 128 in regulation, is out of the game. Unbelievable. If this game goes to overtime, the Tigers can feast.
It's going to be an awesome game to watch, but Warrensville still got a long way to go. Garfield still got the lead, but it just got a whole lot easier with 11 coming out of the game.
2 big shots for Tavian Anderson. And you see Nasir Hines being a lockdown presence off the rim and glass. The first of 2 bounces out. And there he is, showing it off.
Into the game for your Tigers, number 11, Nicholas Furman.
Nick Parker subs back in, and he will relieve C.J. Williams. Still, Coach Sonny Johnson giving a lot of instructions at the death. He wants to coach this team until the end.
He wants to make sure they get this rebound here.
And they need to get the rebound. They do. Both are no good, and that might be enough. Devon Jackson goes to the far side. Myers being trapped, loses it. Parker almost gets a piece. Devon, sure hands are enough. That is a huge play by Devon Jackson. And there's a double team trap out of play down the line. A foul is called.
This is where you miss Marcus Johnson. In moments like this, you need good ball handlers. And they have arguably one of the best players in the state, one of the best ball handlers. This makes it a lot more challenging.
But Devon Jackson, you saw him hold that ball. That is what you need from now your star player on the floor. He has always been second fiddle to Marcus, and that's not in a bad way. Not at all. He is the senior leader of this team. He, along with Ari Jones and Nasir Hines, that's who you look to in a situation like this. You could say Braylon Sullivan, but he, along with Cornelius Williams, have played ring around the rosy, going from the bench to the floor. But still, 1:11 on the clock, 53-45, an 8-point mountain to climb for Warrensville Heights. Before this broadcast is over, we would like to thank Warrensville Heights for their hospitality and helping us to get internet and allowing the Ethernet cable to work. We had a light scare there, but we were able to get the stream up and out to all the viewers at home. So thank you to everyone here at Warrensville Heights for their help. Jones banks it in once again. Ari Jones now with 12 points, a 10-point game. The tempo needs to go quick. Chambers bounces high, no good. And it is taken in by Ari Jones. One last point. Do we see any more? Jones inside, puts it up, no good. Loose ball and a blocking foul is called. And that about does it.
Yeah, and Meechie is not happy at all. He was looking for a charge.
And he's tagged.
And he's going to get a tech for that. Rightfully so. I mean, basically almost walked to half court to argue that call.
And the egress starts early.
And, you know, maybe he did have a point there. There was contact, but, I mean, like you said, so tough to make these calls with no replay assist. You got to give the referees some slack because it's really only what their eyes see, and that's one split second.
Once again, stay tuned after the final horn as we will announce our player of the game. Jones' first is good. What I said moments ago about Ari Jones not being player of the game, I'm debating on a switch.
Yeah, I think, I think he should be player of the game.
We'll talk more about it after this game concludes. Still 41 seconds left to go. Garfield up by 12. And Coach Sonny Johnson, he's continuing it. He knows what he has done. 3-0 against his brother. Devon Jackson, his turn, makes the first. A quiet day for his standards, 8 points, but still a good evening for Devon Jackson. His second upcoming. There it is. And possession on top of it, why not?
Yeah, why not? A little icing on the cake for an amazing road win for Garfield.
These Bulldogs, they will improve to 7-0. Their next game will be at John Carroll, a part of the Play-by-Play Classic as they take on Lutheran East. As for Warrensville Heights, they will be back in action on the 8th against Spire. Sullivan at the logo, 30 seconds left to go in regulation. Ari Jones, still heavy pressure, looking for a turnover. Jones flanks it, and it looks like Coach Sonny Johnson will call a timeout. 59-45, one last timeout. What do you think about this game? Obviously, closer at the half. Sonny Johnson and his Bulldogs able to pull away at the end against this team. Every game that they have played since the opener at the Christmas Classic has been even more of a test. You first off had Cleveland Heights, then Richmond Heights with no Dorian Jones, and then Warrensville Heights, another top team in the area. Many said they played too easy of a schedule to be here. But here they are now, 7-0.
Yeah, I think Sonny and his team have quietly shut up all those people that have said they played too easy to schedule. Playing Richmond Heights, even though they didn't have Dorian, it's still a good win. And of course, coming on the road like this, a hostile environment. They got the band doing the national anthem. They got the band going crazy during free throws. It don't matter. Garfield Heights still gets a great win.
Sonny Johnson, a mastermind as the head coach of Garfield Heights. And he will keep his undefeated streak going, and he will look to do what Meechie did against Lutheran East at his house, but this time at John Carroll. 15 seconds, it will go to Sullivan. Still a press, but it looks like all Garfield has to do is dribble out this clock, and we will go home. And that is the case. Garfield Heights 59, Warrensville Heights 45, Sonny Johnson 3, Meechie Johnson 0. Sonny proves once again why he is one of the best coaches in all of Ohio. Stay tuned after our final commercial break as we will announce our player of the game. But for now, we will step aside and hear a word from our sponsors.
Gyro, Gyro, or Gyro, no matter which way you say it, the place to get it is Nico's Bar and Gyros in North Royalton. From traditional lamb to beef, or even BLT and blackened salmon gyros, Nico's has just about everything. Dine with us today at 12766 Royalton Road in North Royalton. Check out our website at nicosbarandgyros.com or give us a call at 440-237-6456. Join us for the next big game. Your taste buds will thank you.
59-45, Garfield Heights over Warrensville Heights. Your player of the game goes to none other than Ari Jones. 14 points. As you can see on your screen, Sonny Johnson embraces Meechie Johnson. The brothers, they might be rivals on the floor, but off the floor, they are about as close as siblings can be. Going back to Ari Jones, a big presence in the paint. talk about his performance tonight.
I mean, he's controlled the paint with his shot blocking ability, his ability to turn offensive players towards the rim. Made a big impact today.
Definitely a big impact player. I am excited to see what he can do down the stretch this year. He can play his way into some big offers if he plays this way. The way that he can play basketball, maybe get a couple more inches. Coach Bueline, Mount Union, that could be a player you look at bringing in, pairing him up with Ant Bruce for the future. Ant Bruce still looking to break into that team, but once he does, him, Chance, all those guys, Mount Union could have a bright future, and Ari Jones could be a spark plug player that you bring in to ensure a bright future in Alliance. Coach Bueline getting to the 250 win mark earlier this season, I believe in the win against Capital. Our next broadcast will be on Monday at Padua as Lake Catholic rolls into town for a girls basketball clash tipping off at 7 p.m. Then we go to Lutheran West as Holy Name rolls into town, 7:30 p.m. tip in Rocky River. On Wednesday, we will be downtown at Cleveland State's Recreational Center for a triple header, Season 1 of 2025's P-League, as we'll have 3 big clashes of some of the best top talents in all of Ohio and potentially in the world who are not playing currently at the pro level. You never know what will happen at the P-League, but I can tell you one thing, you will not be disappointed. Thank you to Nikki P and everyone over at the P-League for bringing in SmeeSports. To stay up to date on all the games we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeSports2024 on Twitter, and subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I upload or go live. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of June. Actually, no, correction, the beginning of June. June 1st, we want to be at 1,000 subscribers. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. It costs nothing, and it greatly helps out the channel. And finally, thank you to Warrensville Heights for hosting. Amid tech issues, amid it all, they were able to help us out and bring you this broadcast. So thank you to them. If you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in either Stark County or Cleveland, contact me at one of those 3 avenues on your screen as well. If you are a high school, AAU, or any sort of coach wanting your team to be covered, contact me at one of those 3 avenues, and I would love to negotiate a deal with you to bring you some top-tier broadcasting to your top-tier program. Oh, that does it from Warrensville Heights. He has been Gabriel Cosa. I am Nathan Smee. Garfield Heights walk out of Warrensville victorious, 59-45. This has been high school boys basketball on SmeeSports. We will see you on Monday in Parma as Padua takes on Lake Catholic. Have a good night, everyone, and once again, Happy New Year.